Okay, so we're going to finish up this Stranger Things thing. Okay, so again, I don't know why you would be watching all of this if you haven't seen Stranger Things yet, but okay.
Or maybe this will prompt people to go and want to watch it.
And hopefully you're watching this after you have already gone through and watched all of it. Okay, so season 5 is getting shot in the next couple of months. It starts shooting, is what they've said.
Starting shooting?
Yeah, so we might not even get it next year.
Oh my God, I thought we were going to see it in the fall. What the fuck?
So that's why, well, they just came out with the last 2 episodes of season 4 in July.
I can't wait that long.
So us talking about, okay, she doesn't want to hear any predictions or any theories because she thinks it's going to spoil it because evidently I'm a genius and I can figure out everything that's going to go on in a TV show. So, but if we talk about it now, you're going to fucking forget that we talked about this, right? Yeah, you're going to forget about what we talked about until it comes up and then you're going to be like, oh.
Okay, you have 5 minutes to discuss your theories.
Hey, okay, so one thing that the Duffer Brothers did say is that they're going to be explaining the origins and more information about the Upside Down in season 5, which is cool. They're going to say like where it came from, how it became, what it is.
Yeah, so unlike Walking Dead.
Where you're just like, oh, where did it start? Yeah, so they're going to do that. Let me see. Oh, I heard there might be a Steve and Dustin spinoff.
Okay.
Because they're little... Which is a weird pairing, but they're hilarious together. They're great when he does the hair. I'm trying to go for things that aren't like my theories. Okay, cool. So there's one theory is that Will is the villain because he's still connected to the Upside Down every time his little thing comes down. And what some people are saying is
his little thing, his little peen.
His little Peter Tingle. You know what I mean? The little Spidey sense.
But we already know it's Vecna.
Well, it is, but basically what they're saying is because so at the end of season 4 when Vecna gets thrown out of the building and he like Mike Myers is himself out of the fucking frame and they don't find his body. So basically they say if Vecna's body was destroyed, then Will could take over Vecna's like soul or essence. Like, so, you know what I mean? So that seems like kind of a lame.
Hey guys.
Yeah, well, it would be him to take over his essence.
Well, he already did say he's alive. He's hurt. But he's alive.
Another theory is that Vecna is Eleven's father.
Vecna didn't seem old enough to be.
Well, he was in.
Like looking at him when he was the nurse or whatever he was.
1 or whatever, yeah.
Well, no, when he was like at the facility.
Yeah.
She was probably what? Like, she was supposed to be 10?
11, something like that, yeah.
She was supposed to be 10.
Yeah.
He looked like he would have been in his early 20s.
I think they did it up like that, but I honestly think he looked like late 30s.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Just, I don't know, his skin tone maybe late 30s, early 40s.
You know who he actually looks like to me?
Who?
The DJ that died,
Avicii,
whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that too.
Him.
Just like the meth version.
Yeah.
But yeah, it could be like a Vader Luke kind of thing.
Well, I just assumed. What do we know about Eleven's mom and how she got pregnant? We don't. We just know she was pregnant.
We don't really know about the dad. So that hasn't been explained yet.
We just know that. So was it a lie that her mom was in that facility doing testing that happened to involve drugs?
No. She went into that testing facility, I think willingly. I think that's what.
So that is truthful.
Yeah. So that's
she
why
went
she
there,
was all LSD'd
but
out.
She's
and
not all fucked up in the brain totally because of that, but more so because of the shock therapy they ended up doing, so she wouldn't.
Yeah, all the MK Ultra stuff and all that.
So she got raped by 1. And then there's the connection between 1 and 11.
You know, he's already fucking crazy and already weird because he's, Henry Creel. He's the kid that was back, you know what I mean? That killed his mom and dad.
He fucking
and brother.
likes spiders.
Huh?
Who likes spiders?
Yeah. Black widows.
Ugh.
Yeah, that
That's how like, yeah.
So there's no telling.
Okay.
Okay, so this is one big thing that, so Eddie could still be alive in the Upside Down. And the reason why, because, if you notice in the beginning of all the seasons, they start out with the D&D like game or whatever,
yeah,
right?
and then that monster in the...
Exactly, right? So the Demogorgon was in the first one, and then the Mind Flayer was in the second one, and then...
Who was third?
That's why the third season is weird. I think that one didn't have it. I could be wrong, but...
and then fourth, Vecna.
And then the fourth one, they said it was Vecna because Eddie said Vecna, right? But if you watch that scene again, it says Vecna lives. Not just, it's Vecna. Like, Eddie goes, Vecna's alive, or says something to that effect, and Mike, it's like a shot going down the table where everyone's like, oh, what the fuck, Bowie? He's like, no, Cass killed him. Cass, in D&D, is Vecna's vampire lieutenant. And it says it's mentioned at the beginning of season 4 during the D&D campaign with Eddie and the Hellfire Club. And in D&D lore, Cass betrays and kills Vecna. So there's more to it than just hoping the metalhead returns. You know what I mean? So
I don't know, because he got bit up by those little bat things.
By bats.
So what? He's gonna be a bat?
Like vampire bat. You know what I mean? Like,
so you think he's gonna come back as Dracula?
Also in some sort, I think there was like a...
I mean, that's pretty metal.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it could work with the story. And I think there was some promo material that showed Eddie, or showed one of the characters, like what they did for the promo materials. They had a picture of the main character, and then in the background, what's going on. And you see in the background, there's like the Mind Flayer and like this kind of silhouetted but accented shadowy figure that looks like you could take it as like that. You know what I mean? So that's a theory.
Maybe.
In season 5, the Thessal Hydra could be a big bad in season 5. Because Nancy, when she saw her vision, like when Vecna made her, like, you're going to go back and tell this.
Yeah.
She said she saw a huge monster in her vision from Vecna, saying that it had, a huge monster, and then Will's drawing that he, gaily gave to Mike. Yeah, it's like, oh, but, Elle told me to draw it, blah, blah. Yeah. And, but it was a multi-headed...
My tingly penis head told me to draw this.
Exactly. This is the gift from Dickhead.
Poor Willie.
Yeah. But the picture that he drew for Mike was like a beast with like a bunch of different heads, and it was like the 4 of them fighting it. So that could be like a foreshadowing.
Hydra.
Yeah, and the Thessal Hydra was mentioned in season 1. Like
Thessal.
Yeah, the Thessal Hydra.
Okay.
Also, there's a theory that Will created Hawkins in the Upside Down as a way to cope being there. So that's why... Because if you look at
Hawkins isn't real?
No, created Hawkins in the Upside Down. So because when Vecna first goes to the Upside Down, it's just mountains and creatures and like whatever. So that's why like Castle Byers was there, and and all the mom's house and so like there's a theory going on that Will just created that in his mind in the whole thing, and it.
Yeah, but everyone else sees it too.
Well, yeah, but.
Library.
No one else went in there besides Vecna or Will. So everyone went in there after Will did. So, I mean, that's kind of an interesting theory, like how Will is a bigger part of this whole, evil plot. There's a theory that Karen Wheeler, so Nancy's mom, the one who was trying to fuck a 17-year-old, is Alice Creel, the sister. So Henry Creel's sister. Which is Vecna. Henry Creel is Vecna.
Oh yeah, I can see like the age. Okay,
yeah. So it says timeline wise it checks out because Henry Creel's sister was born in the 1940s, so she would be about 40 in the 80s. So I mean,
That's weird to
age-wise.
think.
I know,
Being
right?
born in the 40s?
Yeah, exactly. And so the timeline-wise, it could work out. And also those promo materials that I was talking to you about with Eddie and the whole thing, there was a promo material that came out that had, so basically the way the promo materials were was it was like a, artist rendition of the main character and then like the building or the area that most identified with that character. And so the promo material that came out for Karen Wheeler was her just kind of, like standing there with her fucking perm and then the creepy Victor Creel house. Why would that have anything to do with her? She'd never been there. There was no, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just kind of a weird, why would you put that as the house?
Because she's just going to go after that kid.
Gross.
I mean, she spans ages because she has the older husband.
Yeah.
And it would be cool if we were watching it to remember there was like a quick little blurb, and I don't remember who was saying it. But they were narrating about her, saying that she basically she's the typical suburban housewife who's unhappy, who married an older man.
Yeah, I do
remember there was more to that, and I'd be curious to see
now
if
that what we know,
anything else makes because at that time we're probably
Clicks
okay, it didn't really make sense. Okay, she's an unhappy woman. It's like maybe it'll mention there's some kind of clue. To that link.
Okay, yeah.
Because we don't really know anything about her past, I don't think, other than what's mentioned there.
So that could be a cool thing. There's a couple of there's a theory that Callie or 8, the other one that made shit up with her mind.
She's annoying.
Yeah, that she's gonna have a bigger role in defeating Vecna in season 5.
I don't think so. I watched. There was something that came up, and everyone, I guess, said the most useless characters in this show, and it was that group picture of all of them walking out of the building. Yeah, it's
like, oh, we don't want to be noticed. Why do you have a fucking 8-foot mohawk, dick?
Yeah, I think everyone's like, that was kind of the annoying group of people. I want nothing.
I think that was supposed to be a spinoff. That was the pilot to a spinoff. But
it was irksome and just ugh. So all these characters are terrible.
Yeah, I mean, her power is kind of cool.
Callie's annoying. Yeah, she just seems like your typical, I'm just an angry woman.
Angsty fucking teen, whatever. So I hope that isn't a part of it, but it's something brought up. Another one is it's all a game and it's just a D&D campaign. And this is all their imagination.
I hope they don't go with that, because I hate when shows do that. No, it's like, this was all just pretend, and it comes back to that first night when she opens the door. 15 passed.
Yeah, exactly. Come on, 20 more minutes, Mom, blah, blah.
We've been playing for 10 hours.
Yeah, you've been playing for 10 hours?
But then, and I'm like, how is that not possible? Or how is that possible on a school night, they said. But it must have been Sunday night.
Yeah. So another one that I really fucking hope it's not is time travel. But
that's what 2023 is going to be?
The season 5. The whole... God, let's go back to 2019. So this is all based on time travel or whatever, because having the clocks involved with Vecna's thing, and also the date in the Upside Down is frozen. So the date in the Upside Down is November 6th, 1983, the exact day that Will went missing into the Upside Down. So that could be but I really fucking hope that they don't, because everything is some time travel bullshit now. It's come on, dude. That's how Endgame and Avengers.
Because that's how they're. It's easy to link things that way. By just saying, it's a cop out to me.
That's why I'm saying I fucking hope it's not. And then the last thing is, what do you think is going to happen with Max? Because Henry said that all of his victims are with him in his mind. When he's talking to 11, in the laboratory or whatever, he goes, "They're all still with me, right in here."
Wait, who?
Or Vecna, when he was, one. There's so many fucking names for him. But when they're in the laboratory and he's talking to her, he says, "They're all still with me up here." And
all the memories?
All of his victims. So his dad, his mom, his sister.
His victims.
He remembers they're all still with me in my head. So do you think Max could be in his consciousness?
And
like
then
her soul, or her like whatever, because she's not awake
internally
yet.
punching him.
Yeah, exactly. Just fucking ripping off vein by vein.
I mean, they really could go any direction with that.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's an awesome show, and I'm so glad that we watched it, because there's so many things that we could talk about.
I want to know how high
the Duffers were.
Yeah, and could you imagine like sitting down at the table to kind of go through the different storylines?
We're gonna make a kids show about D&D with blood and gore and breaking bones.
And they're way nerds at heart, because during that show we were watching, it basically when one of the kids was like, yeah, because adults, because they're like,
adults still play D&D.
Why were they not playing D&D in like season 4? And he's like, yeah, because adults don't play that. And they were like, what do you mean adults don't play that? And I'm like, they don't have girlfriends.
Oh yeah, no. But I heard I've watched a bunch of Stranger Things like YouTube content, and like on the Netflix channel and Stranger Things channel and whatever. And there was one where they actually had like a couple of them play an actual D&D campaign for an hour, and like it's kind of funny. Like,
it seems intense, and there's a lot involved.
Well, basically, like the main person makes a campaign and this is where the land is what kind of the story is, and this is the villain, and whatever, and you don't find out until later. But and then everyone just kind of makes their moves and does. So I mean, it's kind of like Risk. It's like a big, like a version of that.
Yeah, so I'm saying it's not like just a casual, let's just sit down
It's
and play.
not Monopoly. It's not, you know what I mean? It's not fucking Sorry. It's like, it's intense, like very like into it. But I mean, I've always been like, no, those are a bunch of fucking nerds who play D&D. But like, I'm a fucking nerd that likes Marvel and Star Wars and fucking all this shit. So like, I'm not saying that I'm opposed to now seeing someone else explain it and not just passing it off as like, oh, that's some fucking nerd shit. Like, it's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But if I do come to you and I say, let's play some D&D, don't immediately say yes, because I need to like
back into the corner and slowly out and run.
Yeah, exactly. Like just fucking Homer Simpson yourself into the bushes.
Yep. Out.
But yeah, so I think I'm good. Is there anything else you wanted to say on the Stranger Things stuff?
They were good on that. You guys will definitely cover it on Wednesday, like in detail, season by season. So.
Oh yes. But I do have to say that it sucks because everyone wanted Nancy to be with Jonathan after that first season. Yeah. Because everyone hated Steve and he was a douche, right? Yeah. Now everyone wants her to get back with Steve, because he's one of the coolest characters. It's like him and Dustin.
Jonathan just seems creepy, so no.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I know we're supposed to be telling you to go subscribe down underneath here and check out those videos, but Bill Cosby is loose. He is out of prison.
Cover your buttholes.
Try to relax your anus.
Hide your pudding.